Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about owning movies is not as fun as it used to be. And what I'm going to talk about today is more about the formats. So, I'm not rehashing formats, things that I've done before. I'm not doing another video of the same topic. This is something that I have a bit of an interest in. I'm putting on this hat because my hair looks ugly without it on. So, my question to you guys up front. At what point do you look at your Blu-ray collection or whatever and say, hey, it's just not as fun to have this on the shelf anymore. Like, it's not a great experience anymore. Like, yes, it's good you have the actual disc that contains a high resolution in 4K in most cases of the movie you love. But what I'm actually referencing is, so many of us remember the early days of DVD. And some people will remember back to VHS and the leap between VHS and DVD. It was a pretty massive leap because you were getting menus, you were getting special editions, special features, you were getting audio commentary, you were getting all different little Easter eggs in there. So many of us also remember the early releases of DVD where they would put Easter eggs in the menu and it would become like a little game where you had to figure it out. Simpsons collectors, am I right? So, there is so many different little things about what DVD did to make the experience impeccable. These days, you're lucky to even get a menu on 4K. And even Blu-ray, it was like that case where it was just the movie, most cases, the special features, what you kind of expect, but there was no kind of fun about it. There was no like, hey, here is what you get. Here is all the ways that we're better than buying it digitally or downloading it or keeping you away from the bay. This is the question I'm asking. At what point did it stop being so much fun with collecting formats? Like, DVD was really fun because you had all those special little Easter eggs in menus. They would hide stuff in there. If a studio really wanted to go above and beyond to get your money and make you buy that purchase, they would add Easter eggs in there and they'll put little information that would lead to something else, that would lead to a website, that would lead to something. And it was kind of the game of, okay, has everyone found the special Easter egg in the DVD menu? And that's the same for so many things. When you start looking at how formats have changed over time, we also had the dilemma of when shows went to from 4:3 to 16:9, or like most people, like the X-Files, cropped it and then they made it 4:3 was how it was shot. I think 4:3 was the actual way it was released, and then they made it 16:9. But then there's also stuff in there that maybe didn't warrant getting seen on a TV back in the day. With Charmed, for example, this was released in 4:3. The bottom of this is pretty tore up, but this was a 4:3 release, I believe. So 4:3 is full frame. And when you start looking at this, what companies would do when they got to the Blu-ray stage was they would either crop it in and they'll crop the top and bottom of the image like they did with The Simpsons, or they would do something like put black bars put black bars on each side and make it 16:9 worthy. And that kind of ruins if you wanted to rip it anyways, because then you have black bars, you can't make it feel a thing. You don't have optionality. Now, given if you have a computer and you do all that, I know people can do it. Stop. Don't come at me. But that's what I'm talking about. DVD was fun. And it feels like we lost a bit of that fun when we went to Blu-ray and when we went to 4K, and even now we're still losing a bit of that fun. Now, I know there are DVD menus, I know there are Blu-ray menus that kind of replicate it. I know the Avengers had a really cool, the first Avengers had a really cool Blu-ray menu when it first came out. This is the 2012 Blu-ray. I don't have that, I have the 4K here somewhere, which is kind of pretty generic. But menus can still create an experience. And when you come to Blu-ray, and 4K and especially, let's come over here, Oppenheimer, people like Christopher Nolan actually put effort into the 4K Blu-ray. They actually want it to be an impeccable experience for when you're collecting. They want you to experience it as like, this is a way to go, this is the way to go because this is better for the industry, this is better for ownership of movies, and this is better because you're kind of not owned by a recurrent subscription. Now, this is the big question about why do more studios not deliver that experience? And I'm even looking at the criterions. I'm looking at the Arrow videos. Yes, they give you the special features. Yes, they give you everything. They give you the audio, they give you the restored footage, they give you everything they can think of. But what would be cool is if they're releasing a movie where they know it's going to be a collector's item. They know that the collectors are going to go crazy for it. Like a Lord of the Rings. This is Warner Brothers, not Arrow Video, but Lord of the Rings fans are insane for these movies. And they will want Easter eggs. So why not embed things in the main menu where you can actually hide things, let people discover it in their own time, hide it in there in a way that can't be found immediately, and the internet will need to kind of figure it out on their own. Because what you do then is you... Oh, gee, that light is really blaring into my eyes. I'm going to turn that light down real quick. Give me 2 seconds. It's really blaring into my eyes. And it's really annoying because I can't look at the camera properly. But anyways, what do you think about this whole dilemma of like, why wouldn't they still put effort into the DVD menus, and or 4K menus in this case? Because 4K is the way it is right now. This is the current format, and it's probably where the formats are going to end. Now, I know they're talking about Dolby Vision 2. I know they're talking about what's going to come next, HDR 1014 or whatever. But I just want to know, like, and my eyes are still stinging from that light. That did nothing. But, you know, Star Wars, for example, why not embed in Star Wars little things that you have to work to get your special features? Now, give the special features for people who know it, but do little things like they did with the Simpsons DVDs in those days. Let people figure it out. Let people try to decide, okay, how do I find this? There's a hidden feature here somewhere, and tell people there's a hidden feature on the disc, and then they have to try to discover it, and then put like 10 of them. Make it a game like DVD did. And I know that so many people don't care for that. I know people are just like, I just want my movie and I just want the special features. I don't want to play games. Respectable, no worries. But for the people who do want that, it's just not available in this modern age. And this is what I'm really hitting at. DVD just used to be fun. Collecting just used to be fun. And we've lost somewhere along the track just the fun aspect of collecting. And we've lost how fun it could be. And we've lost it somewhere in the span of from DVD going into Blu-ray to right now. It's somewhere like the transition to Blu-ray, I think there was something in there. But this is the big question. Why can't it be fun again? If we're looking at spending your hard-earned money instead of a streaming service, and everyone can have on every streaming service known to man and still not have everything. Here's an example of something that's not on streaming in terms of a streaming service that you get part of your subscription. Go and look for Spice World on a streaming service that you don't have to pay or rent or whatever. Go look for that. Go look for The Gods Must Be Crazy. Go look for these movies that you just can't get without a rental or buying the movie on iTunes or whatever. Not everything's available on Netflix. Not everything's available on Disney+. And this is what I'm talking about. Part of the fun of those sort of releases is going back, putting in a DVD and saying like, yeah, this is a thing from a different time. I want to watch it. I want to watch it as it was intended. I want to watch it without changes. I want to watch it without political correctness being inserted into it. I want to watch this in a way that is aligned with the original intended version. Over here, I can see little things off to the side here where I can look and see that, hey, I've got, what's the good release here? I've got The Last of Us. Or Last of Us Part 2. Okay, here's a good one next to it. I've got Spider-Man. They changed the character model for this to the remastered version on PS5. So that I keep this around because this version actually has the original character model that I just kind of prefer. It looks more like Andrew Garfield, this one. Whereas the new one looks a bit more like Tom Holland for some reason. But this one I keep around because it really is aligned with me. I want this version. It takes me back to a time when I was playing this on the PS4. And likewise, The Last of Us. How many releases has this had? I have the PS3 version, I've got the PS4 version, and I've got the PS5 version for some reason that I haven't played. But I've played this version. And this is the thing. I keep this around because I don't want everything to look shiny. I want it to look like... If I'm going back to play this for nostalgia, I want it to be nostalgic. You know, I want it to be aligned with how I would want to experience it. And when I look at my collection here, when I look at the entire collection as a big jumbo jet plane goes over, or whatever it is, an Airbus, whatever. When I look at the overall collecting habits, when I look at it, I really have to look at it and say, you know what? Looking at my collection, how much of this is a fun experience outside of just the movie? If I'm putting in the menus, how much am I watching special features? How much am I looking for those special features? How much would I want an extra little bonus as part of it as like a thank you for buying it? These are the little things I look for. Star Trek could be one of those. I haven't opened the Star Treks, but that would be cool to have a cool menu in there that's like, I didn't believe it is like the lore of the Klingon Empire, or put that in the special features, or like written document that you have to find somewhere on Nemesis or whatever. Not Nemesis, it wasn't Nemesis. Like Generations or, no, the Undiscovered Country. That's the one with Klingons. But yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying here, or am I just drawing for straws? Collecting used to be fun, and I'm talking about the formats. Collecting DVD used to be fun. It used to be fun because there was bonuses in there that you could have. It used to be fun because when you put it in, you knew they were going to put like a little Easter egg in there that you could find, and you wouldn't look it up online because so many people are just like, I'll just go and look it up on YouTube so I can beat the purpose. The point of it was to have a little game with yourself when you're playing and find it. That sounds awful, but you know what I'm saying. You have a little game and say, okay, there's a hidden Easter egg somewhere on this menu. I'm going to find it. And then you'd have to do different combination buttons on the remote. You'd have to do all these little things to try to unlock that. And you just don't see that. And also, as I said, alterations. When you get to games, they alter things over time. When you get to movies, they alter it over time. They give it digital noise reduction. They change sounds. They do all these little things. But also, some things, some people want that. And it's good. I wanted that as well. Like, don't get me wrong. But why can't it be a fun experience? Why do we have to copy and paste the iTunes menus on the disc? Why can't it be a standalone experience? Now, I know it's like, oh, there's not enough people, there's not enough bonus there's not enough of this or that. That tells me that streaming is truly the one that's winning now, and that there is a point where the industry just gave up on physical media. And they haven't given up on it completely, because I know people are going to say they haven't given up. But look, we're still getting X amount of releases in 2026. What I'm talking about is the experience of it. If you can watch every movie known to man on Netflix or whatever within 2 seconds, and physical media, you've making the effort to go out and buy The Martian, and I have 2 different versions of The Martian. Here we go. Here's another good example. I can choose the experience if I can get it out of the shelf, that is. I can choose the experience. I can have the extended edition or this one with Deadpool on the cover. And there's a little bonus thing there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Make it fun. If you're foxing your own, like, or 20th Century Studios, and you own Deadpool, make a little fun Easter egg. Put Deadpool in stuff that he's not in, you know? That's part of the fun right there. A little Easter egg right on the cover. There you go. So some studios are doing it. But what I'm talking about is experience. You get to choose. But also, if I'm putting my hard-earned into a money that I'm going out and saying, yes, I want a copy of that on my shelf, there should be sort of incentive of like, hey, let's give them a little bonus for thanking them to go out and support the creators, for supporting this format that is clearly like losing steam against streaming. I want to know what you guys think. Jump down in the comments and let me know. I'm going to walk off some way. I can't get past the tripod because it's right in my direct path. Bing, 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 bing. Beep, 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 beep. This is so stupid, this sign off.